a super cheery one today, air quotes. I decided to make this video to be the representation I wish I had when I was a small child and a teenager and a very new adult. I'm a pro now though. Today I'm talking about Christmas with divorced parents, which is such a cheery topic, I know, I'm aware, but it's fine, I'm cool with it, made my peace with it a long time ago. So for some context, I realise I haven't talked about my family situation much on here before. My parents divorced when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I don't really remember a time when they were together, and I don't remember them ever being happily married, but I don't ever remember like being in a situation where they were both together living in the same house with me. I have no memory of that really. I have the odd 1 or 2 memories, but nothing that's like, I remember when. It was a bit of a messy divorce. I'm only mentioning that because it does relate to what I'm going to talk about and how I'm going to talk about it. It was kind of a messy divorce, not the messiest. My parents got joint custody of me, but after a custody battle in court. This was in the very early 2000s, I think actually 2000, maybe 2001, and to get joint custody was a big thing because they usually side with the mother and they didn't. So all of my memories of Christmas have been from the perspective of a child of divorced parents. It was never great. Divorced parents and divorced parties at Christmas are often the butt of the joke in many Christmas films. There's always a, oh, we've invited Aunt Margaret and Uncle Phil, I hope it's gonna be okay, and then inevitably it's not and they're shouting over the dinner table. I was kind of fortunate in the sense that we didn't have joint Christmases, and it was always sold to me as, oh my god Max, you get 2 Christmases, how lucky you are, from both of my parents and family around and teachers, I guess. And I never really, I mean I did, okay. It would be a lie for me to say I never really enjoyed it, because I was a small child and I didn't really understand everything that was going on. I just understood that I got twice as many presents, which is very much how it was sold to me as a good thing. But the actual arrangements for Christmas were never really what I wanted. I was never really asked. It was more, well, you had Christmas with your dad last year, so you're gonna have it with your mum this year. Regardless of whether I wanted Christmas at either of those places or not. It was very much just routine and we swapped. When I was like an early teenager and I had more ability to say what I wanted and be taken seriously was when I got to say like, hey, actually I would kind of like to spend Christmas with my dad. And I have sisters as well. At the time, we're all 10 years apart from each other, so my youngest sister came into the world when I was at university, so this doesn't really apply to her. But my other sister, she was like a big selling point for me wanting to spend Christmas with my mum, because we don't have a relationship, me and my mum. It's not good. We'll leave it there. But the reason I would want to spend Christmas with my mum was because my sister was there and I always wanted a sister or a sibling, and we would just have Christmas and I'd be like, yeah, I want to go spend Christmas with my younger sister. And then I got older and it was more, I didn't want to spend Christmas with my mum, so I would spend Christmas with my dad. But going back to when I was young, just gonna sort my white balance out a minute. That's a bit better. When I was younger, I didn't get that choice. So it was very much, I would wake up with one of my parents, open presents, and everyone would be like, oh wow, look, you're so lucky, you've got all these presents, and then you get to go to your other parents' house and get more presents, amazing. So then we would do that. Sometimes it would be the day was literally split in half. Some days it would be, so I don't know, wake up with mum and then mum would go and drive me to dad's to open presents and then we would come back for dinner. or it would be I would wake up with mum and then open presents and then have dinner, then go in the afternoon to go see my dad and then come back. And then would come the point where everyone's trying to buy my love and they're trying to compete with each other about buying the most presents, buying the best presents. Neither side of the family has loads of money, so me saying they're trying to buy my love, I'm not getting like a pony or anything, but it's just trying to like buy the better stuff. And one particular parent just didn't really listen to what I wanted and bought what they thought I would enjoy as a small child. The other parent actually asked me what I wanted and most of the time would get that thing. I started picking up on that when I was very, very young, probably about 10-ish. Again, I was 10, I don't actually remember how old I was when I had these things, but I know I was quite young and it was just really awkward and uncomfortable. And because it was a messy-ish divorce, they are civil and friends now, and they were civil and friends for a lot of this time. But there were remarks and sly digs and comments. There was just like a lot of infighting, and what child at Christmas really wants to hear how you feel about the other parent? I didn't really enjoy it, and it just, none of that was ever what I wanted as a kid. Thinking about it, did I ever want a joint Christmas? Probably not, because with divorced parties being involved at Christmas in films, I'm pretty sure that's an accurate representation of how a together family Christmas would have gone. Everybody would have been fighting and I would have hated it more. I didn't really want double Christmas. I just wanted the Christmas that I wanted at the time. I think being able to choose if and when I went to the other parents on the day, that would have been great. And I know as a young kid that choice is kind of a bit moot and it is fair to swap them over. But it was just always awkward. It was always not great. Because I am very much of the I want to stay cozy on Christmas. And everyone has their own ways of celebrating Christmas, and there are some parts of one family's Christmas setup that I enjoyed and others that I really enjoyed. I could never have both. And I think just being able to pick would have been really, really good. Now that I'm older, I'm 25, I am very glad that they are separate Christmases because I get to choose. I don't have to sit next to parents that I don't even speak to, let alone get along with. I can make the choice to go whenever I want to. I can make the choice to just not go. I am more in charge of the day. And it's really weird that I don't particularly celebrate Christmas. I'm always just kind of along for the ride because everyone else is doing it and there's food. And I had to field all of this awkwardness and growing up kind of trying to manage both parents' feelings. And I have one parent that you can probably guess which one of them it is, but I have one parent that's a lot more easygoing and I could just say stuff, say how I was feeling, and it would be cool. It would be fine. If it wasn't fine, they very much kept it to themselves. The other one could not do that. Would just result in me having to manage an adult's feelings, which I didn't want and was not qualified to do but ended up doing anyway, and hearing bad things about the other parent. Merry Christmas. All of my Christmases at home, since I have become a fully fledged adult, weird thing to say about myself, my routine is pretty much the same. I have obviously picked a favourite parent. It's the one I still have a relationship with. Spoiler alert, that's my dad. Hi Dad. I stay at his, I wake up at his, we do gift giving and then food prep, and then usually once the food is in the oven I scarper, I go to my mum's house, I go and see my sisters, we do gift giving, and then I leave and I have food with my dad and my stepmom. And it's just nice, it's chill. He will ask me how was Mother's, I will fill in the details, and then we will eat and we will drink and we will be cozy, and then we will go for a walk on the beach because I live in Cornwall and I've got a beach like 2 minutes away from my house, so that's the best. It's the best option. I remember as a kid it always used to blow my mind that people would have like one Christmas with like both parents there, and it was always really awkward in school when they'd be like, oh, what are you doing for Christmas? And it'd be like, I'm at my mum's this year, and everyone would be like, what do you mean? Because small children don't always learn about divorce and divorced parents. That's a whole video for another day, just growing up with divorced parents in general. This is just Christmas. So the point of this video is, if anyone else has divorced parents, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Find a routine that works for you. You're not doing this alone. You will have fun stories in the future like I do. And because I didn't grow up with other people that had divorced parents, I just wish I had someone to relate to about it. So I'm being that person for anyone watching this now. And that's kind of it. This isn't really an advice video because I don't really have any advice. Just hang in there. You're gonna be fine. Merry Christmas, Yule blessings. Don't forget to like this video. Drop a comment down below if you come from a divorced family and let me know what your Christmases are like. Did you have a similar experience to mine? Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time I post a new video. Videos go up every Saturday at 6 PM UK time with at least one bonus video every single month. Apart from this month, which is Vlogtide. Watch me in at least one of these videos say Vlogmas. But you're getting 21 videos in 21 days in the lead up to Yule.